Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get started here again. Let me move y'all over to this screen. Oh, yeah. Look at us. We're there. Turn on Discord again.
I mentioned my shitty goal selection. I mentioned possibility of buying Margot's rocket launcher sooner.
Oh.
There were a couple other topics, but
I caught
I like
that.
that second one. Can we go back to that second one?
What, the shitty goal selection?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How much are rocket launchers?
4,000 credits.
4,000?
Hello, everyone.
That's a good number of credits.
It is a fair amount of credits, yes. How's everyone's break? Did y'all enjoy it? Devin is still
Pretty
muted,
good.
I see, but that's okay. Cool. So, I think that if no one else has anything to do while you're fueling up and getting that all squared away, and you guys start headed down to the planet, I assume that the first mission's going to head over to what did I name that place? Carsey, to deliver the biotech materials for Rahani Group or the Rahani Band.
Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Correct.
So you guys are on your way, flying on over there, and you guys enter the atmosphere, and it's kind of bumpy a little bit. There's you can see that it's kind of like I described before, kind of like an arid, scrubland, deserty kind of expanse, and you can see that as you approach the city, there are all of the buildings here are like they're not bubble cities, right? Like the bubble cities is totally a thing that exists in this world, but these are not them. But you can see that the buildings, maybe like as you come in and you fly around, you can see that none of the windows are like open. They all appear to be like sealed. And you can probably tell from like the rooftops that they all have like these environment generator, like very clearly like large machinery on top of them to ostensibly generate, and Boomer, you probably know this because you know quite a bit about Paphos with a 9, to generate like a actual breathable atmosphere inside of the buildings, especially the larger ones. The smaller ones sometimes require like, you know, to not have those things, but like the larger office complexes and things that are worthwhile, they have this kind of built-in things so that you don't always have to have a breather in your mouth, because that can get really annoying over time, you know, sounding like a robot all the time, always. But when you guys go and land at the spaceport, I think that while you're in the atmosphere, like when you probably go to undo the clamps or like the seals for the loading docks or whatever, you guys probably get a warning that says, you know, unsustainable atmosphere outside, please wear protective equipment, right? And so if you were like previously unaware that it had a thick atmosphere for whatever reason, you now know that you guys, you know, have to put on your mask, and they're kind of bulky, and you know, they're not comfortable to wear. They kind of cover like your nose and your whole mouth area, and like they have these big tubes that stick out of the sides. Very much like, have you ever seen like the poison mask in Knights of the Old Republic? The thing that covers
the most
like
important question:
half your
do we
face.
sound like Darth Vader while we're breathing?
Basically, all of you do, right? Like, and maybe not to everyone else like around you, but like in your head, because everything is like kind of closed off, and you're like this, and you're talking like this all the time, and you know everybody hears you like this. It's kind of like, it's a little bit annoying, maybe. It takes a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, it's like, you know, kind of like that as you guys are maneuvering your way. So I assume you all, you know, don your little mask that's strapped over your head or whatever, and
Yeah,
and there's one that's been designed for you, right? Like Oscar, like.
Yeah, I think it's actually, for Oscar, it's just like a little canister that he clips onto part of his mask.
Sure, right, because you already have a mask, right?
Yeah, it's just like an extra filter.
Yeah, you just like screw it in, like and seal it, and it's, you know, on the side of your face. So like if you turn your head right, it like hits your shoulder, right? Like it's just big and kind of bulky and etc.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
The quick change ones are not aesthetic or comfortable.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, Go-Go's is spray painted pink, actually. It was originally West Wind. It's probably got the logo on it somewhere, but Go-Go's like etched it out and spray painted it pink.
Mm-hmm. Her initials are carved into the side of it.
Right, yeah, because none of this is actually your equipment. Right.
I imagine Boomer's probably made modifications to his.
Sure, yeah. Cool. So you guys disembark. And the dust is kind of swirling a little bit. It's kind of windy outside. And the dust is, thick and kind of cloudy. So, maybe you have to, occasionally, shield your eyes as you approach and walk through the spaceport, which appears to be fairly busy. I'll describe the place like this. Most of the individuals here are probably, as we know it, as human beings, from Middle Eastern descent. They're all fairly dark-skinned, and fairly dark features as well, dark eyes, dark hair. There's not a whole lot of that kind of European feel. So it's a little bit different from most of the places we've been to so far, with opposed to the Asian part of that last planet we were on. So I think that the group of you probably stands out again pretty profusely. But I do think that in the spaceport you can see that there are also quite a few Caucasian individuals that are milling about, and probably at the customs booth, because there's a customs booth that's kind of it's open air, so you see the people that have the rebreathers, and some of them have the really nice ones that just a mouthpiece, and they just have its little tubes and kind of clear plastic that goes over the rest of their face. They look super comfortable. They look really convenient. But you guys approach the customs, right? Somebody probably approaches you at some point, and they're wearing this mask, and they say, "What will be your business today in Carsey?" What's the name of the fucking place? Jesus, Carsey. What will you be doing in Carsey today?
Are they male or female?
They are female.
I once more provide the paperwork to Go-Go.
Yeah, they address Go-Go. They don't address any of the rest of you.
And just kind of captain the paperwork.
Simple delivery is all. And I take it and I hand it to him.
Yeah, he grabs it and he says, or she, I should say. She says, "Oh, they're a honey band. All right, no problem. Right over this way." And she points you towards a booth where you can see that there's it's like a plastic booth. Basically, it's like a box, plastic cage that's been set in the middle. And it's got a big vent on the top. Obviously this is connected to an environmental system somewhere. And you can see a woman in there kind of shuffling paperwork. And there's room for all of you in there, and she directs you over there to head over there. So I assume you guys walk over there. And you can see in the gray lettering or whatever, across the plastic booth, it says, Rahani Band checkpoint. And you can see that there's a key code, a key card lock on the door. And it's it's got a handle on it. So what do you guys do?
Did we get?
Yeah, did we get a
card?
No, but it's not large, right? It's maybe a 10-foot by 10-foot box, and there's a desk with the woman that's sitting at it behind the desk, and she's just shuffling through paperwork and occasionally typing on a computer or whatever.
Oh, so there's someone here.
Yeah, no.
Oh, so we just have to go up and talk to her.
Yeah.
I thought you said you encounter a plane door. It is locked. What do you do?
No.
That is it. No one is helping you.
Okay, let me be more clear. You guys go, and you probably obviously the thing here is to push the little intercom button, right? Hey,
sure,
hello.
Yeah. So
right.
Margot walks up and does that, and pushes the intercom button.
Yeah, and she looks up, and she holds up or she hits a button on her desk. She's like, "One moment, please." And you see her reach into her desk and pull out a mask and strap it on and test it for a second, and then she goes, "Push when it buzzes," and then you hear the door bzzz, and you guys push and open it up, and the wind kind of enters the atmosphere a little bit, and a little bit of sand gets slides onto the carpet, and you can see her holding down her papers, and you all file in and close the door, and you hear it psst, seal, and then she points to a light above the door, and you can see it now. It's a red and green light, and it's red, and then after a few seconds it ding turns green, and she takes off her mask, and she's like, Yes, what can I do for you today?
Boomer pointedly waits until Margot takes her mask off, and then he'll take his mask off.
Fortune probably doesn't take his mask off.
Yeah.
Margot takes her mask off and starts explaining. We're here for a simple delivery. Here's all the paperwork. Everything should be in order.
She looks. She's like, yes, we received a message about this. Well, just a day ago. You guys work quick. I like that. All right. We will. We'll send some technicians out. And she looks out at like the spaceport. She's like, that's your ship there, and she points at the Apollo class freighter.
Margot says, "Yep, that's Big Mama."
She's like, all right, we'll just need a representative to stand by until our technicians arrive. Other than that, it seems our business is concluded. Once we get the delivery and verify the contents, the money will be wired to your account.
Fantastic.
Ma'am, if you Boomer turns to Margot. Ma'am, if you'd like, I can stand by.
Oh, well, yes. Well, it's certainly not going to be me.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she nods and she's like, all right. You're free to go about your business. Again, expect payment within. She like looks at her little like chronometer, like compad or whatever, and she's like, next should be by about a few hours. Payment by the end of the day, no problem.
Those are my favorite words. Thank you.
Yep. And she puts her mask back on and she's like, all right, whenever you're ready to leave, I can buzz you out.
Margot returns her mask.
Yeah, and buzzes you out, and you guys all exit into the wind has died down a little bit. But it's weird. So, like, when you walked out of the ship and when you walk out here now, like, you can feel the thickness of the atmosphere kind of, like, pushing on your skin. It's like being in an extremely humid environment at all times, but it doesn't have the dampness, right? It's like you can just feel the pressure on your body. It's uncomfortable. It's not, like, unlivable, like, you can walk around. And I think that you notice, like, for those of you that are probably more on the physically fit side of things, you notice it a little bit less. And I think that you notice as well, like, a lot of the inhabitants that are walking around are very physically fit people. You know, they clearly survive in a thick atmosphere a lot of times of the day, and they seem to have adapted to that in some way. But I want everybody except for Boomer to roll me a perception check based on wisdom.
Because Boomer just naturally wouldn't notice, I guess.
Correct.
Well, because he's not outside.
Damn, Oscar.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the other end of the spectrum.
Nice. So,
Gogo's too worried about what this humidity and such is doing to her hair.
Yeah, you're oblivious, Gogo, and like
fussing with the gas mask.
And I keep like braiding and unbraiding my hair because she knows it's frizzing. This
is actually super appropriate. Oscar and Fortune, you probably look at each other and you realize you haven't seen a single man since you've landed on planet.
Yeah.
Not a single one. Like, you probably look around, like, maybe Gogo's, like, fixing her hair. You see Boomer just kind of, like, standing in the corner, and you're, like, looking around, like, kind of at a loss of things to do. And they're all women. All of them.
Yeah. Oscar has been doing his best robot impression the whole time.
Sure.
To try not to...
Oh, my God. Devin, you're a robot.
Yeah, so has Devin.
Devin, your other mic is picking up or turned on or something.
Is that more better?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh
yes.
my God, yes. Jesus.
Wow.
Rip ears.
Yeah, rip.
So we've not seen a single male.
There has not been a male of any species or race at all. Not a single one.
Interesting. I think this is probably premature to like discuss it, but yeah, I'm taking note of that.
You guys can go hang out on the ship till the people show up, right? Or you can go do whatever you want in the city. It's up to you.
Well, we are not in the correct city for me to go do my one errand, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I would probably approach somebody who has one of those super awesome face masks and be like, "Where'd you get that?" Or I guess more appropriately, "Where'd you get that?"
Sure, yeah. Roll me a luck save.
Fortune, please.
Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Perfect. Yeah.
2 consecutive failures.
So,
How did I roll?
so you walk up to the woman, and you ask her the question, and she looks at you, and she looks up and down, and she goes, "Why are you speaking to me? Don't you have work to do somewhere?"
No.
She goes, "Who's your handler?"
Westwind Corporation? What?
She kind of like looks around. I think she sees Go-Go, and she goes, "Hey, get him under control. You can't just be walking around talking to people." She's yelling out at you, Go-Go.
I don't think Gogo even recognizes that that's who she's talking to, because that's so out of the realm of her possibility. But I think she would look over and be like, point to herself.
At this, I'd probably like, "Okay, thanks," and then just walk off.
Yeah. She probably like looks, and she like give like the dirty look, and like, "Go-Go, you're looking, right?" And she gives it like just the abrasive like fucking gross look.
Okay, so you know like the C-3PO walk where he kind of like jostles from side to side a bit Oscar totally just like does that and puts his arm around Fortune and like scoots him back to where Margot is.
Yeah, and the woman like dusts herself off like she got dirty, and then continues on her way to doing whatever she was doing.
So I would like to point it out that I am aware of what's going on. I just don't care.
Sure.
I don't. So if that's more for the rest of the group, so that way they're not like, because it's probably going to end up causing a problem later if I stay on this planet for too long.
Oh, that's fine, but it's again for the benefit of the players. Like it is Oscar's job to make sure that doesn't happen. Sure.
So Margot, clearly oblivious still, would laugh at Fortune and be like, "Wow, everyone else seems to find you as disgusting as I do on this planet."
Right, and like, so Boomer, this is probably the moment where you realize, oh wait, not everyone knows what's going on here. Because Go-Go is oblivious. She just thinks you're, obeying her wishes as she assumes you always do.
Wait, hold up, because is Oscar actually not aware of what's going on?
You are unaware of the the sociology of what's going on.
Because
you are aware that there are no men, and you can deduce what you want to deduce, but officially, Boomer's the only one that really knows like anything
to the extent that it's a female-ran country.
Because
planet.
I might have
or planet, yeah.
Oscar may have behaved differently if he wasn't completely up to speed there.
Yeah, no, I don't think you would be. Like you rolled the traveler check, right? And that's to determine how much you actually knew about Paphos. But that
was dog shit. My traveler check got me nothing.
Right.
So
you've never been here before.
So sure. Why don't we just retcon and
I think it's a reasonable, like, you saw a woman getting aggressive towards Fortune, and you were like, let me escort Fortune out of this situation, right?
Yeah.
You may not have known why she was being aggressive, though.
Right, exactly.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I'm like as I'm kind of being like, nah, it's not worth it. Fortune, just fuck her. Maybe I'm like, Fortune, dude, we appear to be the only men on this planet.
Well,
I've noticed.
Boomer says, "Well, yeah."
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. What does that mean?
Wait, you guys really never been here before? I mean, all the stories about how you really lucky guys will get slotted and show up here. Well, unlucky guys, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like a matriarchy. Look, the women are in charge. He just kind of points to Go-Go. And, the males just follow orders and, are enslaved. But it's not important.
Well, this sounds dandy.
Margot's just confused because she just assumes that that's always the case.
Right, yeah, exactly. And that's why you've been confused the whole time, right? Like, Boomer's just acting like Boomer. He's making you in charge, and that's where you like to live.
I think, yeah, at that point, Oscar just kind of looks around to the group and it's like, we should most definitely watch our behavior.
No, we're fine as long as Go-Go says it's okay.
Oh, wonderful.
Margot punches you in the arm.
At that point, I'll be on the ship. I just walk off.
Yep.
Wait, guys, what's wrong? I mean, we can still go do the other things. She has to say it's okay. I don't understand.
So do you guys just leave Boomer and Go-Go standing out in the?
No, I don't go back to the ship. I just
intelligence and wisdom.
Yeah, I just kind of Oscar maybe tightens up a bit because it occurs to him this is a situation that could become complicated.
As are all of the situations ever.
No, yeah, but I leave those three out there. I'm like, it ain't worth going through all this trouble just to get a freaking face mask. I'll be on the ship.
Just gonna go on the ship. Yeah, not worth it. Cool. Excellent. So the three of you, do you just hang out as well until the individuals arrive to take your stuff off the ship?
Yeah, Margot would not leave the stuff.
So after about an hour, just as the woman said, you guys get like a ping from like the outside the ship, or if you're standing out there, you see approaching you is actually a man and a woman, and they are Caucasian, distinctly not Middle Eastern like the rest of the populace here, and they walk up and the woman addresses, is there someone outside the ship at the time, like maybe like checking landing configuration or something like that?
Boomer would be outside.
Sure, yeah, they'd probably approach you, Boomer. And she looks at you and she goes, "You guys you work on this ship?"
Yep, this is the Big Mama. Are you here to pick up their delivery?
Like, she kind of arcs an eyebrow a little bit and she goes, "Yeah, for Rahani Band? Yeah, we're here to pick it up." And she looks and she's like, "JR, go get the lift." And he just nods and, trundles off to go get the lift. Boomer, you notice he's wearing like a necklace, like a collar.
Does it appear to have an explosive attached to it?
No, it does not. This looks like a simple like choker collar.
Boomer is less impressed.
Okay. Yep. So he runs off
Can I roll some sort of check?
Do you want to be on the outside of the ship too?
Oh yeah, no, I have been with those guys.
Sure. Yeah. What kind of check do you want to roll? Based off the basic knowledge you have of it.
I would like to try and roll a security check to determine if it is some sort of like to determine if perhaps he is not working with this woman of his own volition.
Sure. Roll a security check.
And can I use wisdom? Because it's history and skill. Okay.
It's wisdom. Because it is based off of your current perception, not anything else.
Nope.
Nah, man. It looks like a nice piece of jewelry, though.
I have never seen such a thing.
No. You have not. So she looks at you, Boomer, and she's like, "Open up the cargo base. We'll take the stuff once JR gets back with the lift."
He would just nod to her and prep everything to open up once the lift gets
So
here.
you run up there, leaving Oscar and this woman standing there. Go, are you outside as well?
I'd probably be waiting in the cargo bay, so when they open the doors, I'm probably standing there.
Sure, yeah. So she kind of like, she looks up at you, Oscar, and she goes, "You're a big fella."
He says nothing.
Sure. She goes,
he like maybe gives her like a little up nod.
yeah, the up
and then
nod, yeah.
And then just looks back to the doors.
Yeah, and I think she goes, she just nods like unperturbed. She's just like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Good talk." And the lift runs out. It's like basically an enlarged carrying contraption, something mechanical. It's got like a basin on it to carry like pallets stacked up on each other and hold them secure and travel to a location. And yeah, the cargo bays open up. The door slides across, and Gogo, are you like, is Boomer manning the controls? Or are you gonna like jump down out of the ship all cool like and land superhero style?
Oh yeah, she's totally making an entrance. That's the whole point.
Yeah, sure. So she makes an entrance, and the woman turns and looks at you and he goes, "Ah, hello? Are you here to help us load?"
Help you load?
He goes, "Well, yeah. It's either you stand there and try not to get crushed by it, or you get out of the way so we can roll a lift in and get the stuff down."
Oscar steps up and says that he'll take care of it.
Marco just nods and smiles.
Yeah, and
so
the guy
how
like
much
drives
do
the
those-
lift under, and like someone has to like guide it down, right? Like guide it into
How much
the...
do those containers weigh a piece? What do you say?
Well, the containers don't weigh, the each pallet weighs about half a ton, because it's total 1 ton material.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you got to use like the cargo arms, but somebody has to like grab on the rope and guide it down. And like she's got one side, and like if you wanted to grab another side, that's cool. But they don't necessarily need your help. If you wanted to help, that's cool.
I think Oscar would be able to guide it by himself, so long as he doesn't have to lift the full weight.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mastered. We didn't cover this earlier, but I mastered the second level telekinesis.
Yeah.
So he can anything under 200 kilos. He's cool.
Sure. Yeah. So you're just gonna be like, she like probably like like a rope gets tossed down, and you're just like, "Nah, I got this."
Yes. So he just like he doesn't even he doesn't need to use his hands.
Yeah,
at
you
all,
can just guide
to,
it like back and forth.
indicate
right,
that he is doing something. He makes a show of like moving the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You're like you're force, right? You're using the force by using your hands. And,
Yeah.
He's doing a performance.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, I think like the woman like walks up to Gogo and like crosses her arms. She's like, "They're useful, those psionics. I wish I had some more on my team."
Yes, he does come in handy sometimes.
She nods and she's like, "See him?" And she points at JR, who's like driving the lift or like waiting for it to be loaded. She's like, let me tell you, I just wish the boy was better in bed."
Marco just nods like knowingly, like, "Oh, really?"
He looks really good, though. That's the good thing.
He certainly is a looker. That necklace he wears, it adds to his ensemble.
Yeah, she kind of looks and she's like, "Necklace? It's not a necklace."
Oh?
No, it's a collar. Can't you see it? See the latch in the back? And she kind of like up nods towards it. She's like, "I let him take it off every couple of nights. He likes to go free."
Go
Oh, man.
free?
Oh man.
She's like, "Yeah, sometimes I let him run around. But he's a good boy. He comes back."
What happens if he runs around with the collar on?
Well, he can't. He can only do what I tell him.
Oh, really?
I'm so glad I'm not outside for this.
Boomer just starts sweating for a reason he can't quite pin down.
Why do I have goosebumps?
Can you explain how these collars work to me? I seem to be missed this.
Yeah, she looks and she's like, "Oh, it's just training. It's nothing more than that. He knows when the collar's on, he does what I tell him, and when the collar's off, he can do kind of what he wants. In the house, of course. I can't let him go outside. That would be inappropriate."
Oh, well, of course.
And
Margot
then,
is clearly uncomfortable with what's happening, but
Yeah, and
also
she's-
really intrigued by what's happening, so...
right, and again, if I haven't conveyed it, she's talking as if this is Sunday brunch.
Oh, yeah, clearly. And Margot's trying to play off like it is for her, too, but obviously she's
Right. Yeah.
not quite at that level.
And, like, it gets loaded, and, like, the woman, like, nods, and she's like, you have the... She turns to Gogan, she's like, you got the account details? I'll, forward it over there. Looks like everything's here.
I assume I would still have the paperwork in my pocket, so I'd take it out and hand it to her and say, yep,
you
it's
take
right
it
here.
and she punches in the compad and she's like, she spins it around. You see that's what I say it was $2,000, I think, for this mission.
I think it
Yes.
was $4,000?
No, I think it was 2.
No, it was 2.
Yeah, you didn't roll that well on business. Yeah. So it's you see it plus 2,000 is the last transaction. She's like, there you go.
Much appreciated. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah, and she extends her hand to shake it.
I shake her hand.
And she, like, the lift comes by and she jumps up on it. And, she's like, all right, Jerry, let's go. And she, like, puts like, her elbow, like, on the seat and, like, runs her hand through, like, the back of his head and, like, scratches the back of his head a little bit. And they drive off with their ton
I think
of
before she
materials
goes,
on
or
the way.
as she's leaving, Margot says, really quick, if I wanted to get one of those collars, where could I get one?
She goes, oh, they're not for sale, honey. Sorry.
She just kind of, like, snaps her fingers, and she's like, oh, okay, thanks anyway.
Yeah, and they drive off.
Oh boy.
So what do you guys do? Do you get on your ship and fly to the capital of this planet?
Where does Fortune's errand take him?
The capital of the
I need to get to
planet.
the capital. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for everybody to get back on the ship, pretty much.
Yeah, so you guys, do you, like, close up and everybody gets on the ship, and is there a conversation that is had? Because she wasn't being quiet about it. You totally could have overheard the conversation as well, Oscar.
That conversation would not happen off of the ship.
Right, no, I mean, like, once you guys get back on the ship, is there, like, we need to have a meeting? Meet me in the conference room?
Margot is nowhere near
I think I think he might make some like an offhanded comment, but it wouldn't
Sure.
be like a hey, we need to talk.
Right.
It'd be like takes all kinds.
Right, yeah, absolutely. The universe works in mysterious ways.
As it was written.
He's still not again, he has no idea if that collar is something more I guess sinister, like if it's actually a mind control or something that would influence one's
That would
behavior,
require getting
or
your
if it's
hands
like,
on one.
yeah,
Or
he's
figuring
that
out how it
keen.
works.
Yeah. So I think he is content to mind his own business on this one. Who knows? Maybe this is already a female dominated society. Maybe that's just some sort of courtship. I don't know, man. That's not it. It's certainly none of Oscar's business.
I mean, the Syriac have weird fucking rituals and shit too, right? Like,
oh yeah,
if a
we
human
couldn't even
went
discuss
right, yeah, if a human went there, like, they'd probably think the same thing, right? Like that.
There's like, yeah, you turn the wrong corner, you catch a cloud of pheromones right in the face, you get like, it's bad news.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's like Vulcans, man. When they go on their
people die
every 4 years. They have to have like copious amounts of sex, or they die. That kind of stuff. Cool.
Oh my god, that it's like a Zoidberg situation where he's just gonna start.
That's where Futurama got it.
Yeah. Oscar's fin is just gonna go up, and he's gonna
exactly.
lose his mind.
That's where Futurama got it, man, from Star Trek.
Yep.
Anyway, so you guys, you get back on the ship and you make the offhanded comment, and do you guys just take off with your 2K credits? I'm assuming divided 4 ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, to both counts.
Add 500 credits to everybody's character sheet. Congratulations, you completed the mission. And you'll get some additional experience for that. It was an easy one, but you'll get some additional experience for it.
Well, it was convenient. It got us to a place where we needed to be, and we satisfied an employer.
Exactly, and that's what's important. So you guys...
are my monies?
Under gear, there's a credits.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you guys take off and you head over to Kakachan, and it's negligible amount of time. It's within the same day that you guys get over there. And as you're approaching the city, you can see it from very far away. It is massive. It is a massive city. And lots of big sprawling complexes, and you can see even from a distance, they're all, almost every building in the city is connected by like these tunnelways. And again, there's those kind of like massive generators on the top of some of them that pump healthy environment into it. Down on the street level, as obviously where like the vehicles and stuff go, there are a lot more like there's people walking and stuff like that, and they have breathing masks on. But it seems like the city has developed in such a way that you could easily travel from one end to the other without ever having to go outside. It might take a while, though. It wouldn't be the most direct route, but it is convenient for people who, massive amounts of people who may not own rebreathers, or, maybe because, servicing and upkeeping a rebreather or a breathing system of some sort takes money, right? And this is all provided to them by the government, obviously, so it's convenient for them to just kind of walk through or live close to where they work and travel through the tunnels. And ostensibly there's probably underground areas too that have the same thing, like underground subway systems and that kind of stuff. Typical big city where not everybody drives, not everybody walks, people take public transportation. Public transportation just happens to be all environmentally sealed, if that makes sense.
Andy?
Yeah,
it does. It makes... And again, like, quality of life thing. That's just something that would probably happen if there were people thrown into this situation. Additionally, as you are, like kind of flying like on the outskirts of the city, you see that there's very clearly like the large, like kind of grand scale Capitol, like area, like what would be our White House, but it's much larger and much grander. It's this big dome shaped building, that appears to be like all glass, but it's in like this hexagonal pattern. So it's like reflecting light kind of strangely, and it's quite beautiful. And then there's a big courtyard area, and then a big like circular lake, and then in the middle of the lake is a statue that is probably, it's probably like maybe 300 feet tall. It appears to be made out of...
Is it a uterus?
No, it's not. It appears to be made out of gold, and it is the picture of a woman who is like holding one hand up to the sky, and there's a bird like flying out of her hand, and in her other arm she is carrying, like in her other hand, like that's held down, she's carrying like a large tome or book, and she's wearing like these long kind of flowing robes that kind of flow out over the stand of the, like over the pedestal that she's standing on, and kind of like almost onto the ground. It's very significantly grandiose statue, and you guys can see that it's kind of reflecting the light in this big government complex. It's all very beautiful and whatever, but you guys go and you land at General Spaceport to get it from controls, like, hey, you can go land over here, and you go land over there in sector A or whatever of the city. So when you guys land, what do? Like, what's the first step here? Because I think that, just to complicate things, I think that during the trip, Fortune, you probably received a message from Chains.
Okay.
So you open it up, and it's a text message, or not a text message, like an email, the equivalent of an email. And it says, it's like, hey, Fortune, comma, and then starts the paragraph. And it's like, hey, good to see you in system. I thought you'd retired, haha. And he says, hey, open to work together. 50-50 split, question mark? And then sends it off.
I probably send something back like, rather meet in person.
Sure, yeah, you just send it back. And so like during the exchange, like across as you're flying, he's like, all right, I assume you're in Kakachan?
Yes.
He's like, he's probably like, this place is shit for us, and he puts us in quotation marks, and then in parentheses next to it, he goes, those of us with a penis, and then a winky face, and then close parentheses, and he's like, I
like how the future is dominated by emojis.
Have you existed in today's society? The future will most definitely be dominated by emojis. But then so he says, hey, found like a CD bar that'll actually serve me, and he sends you the coordinates. He's like, I think at the end he says, oh, probably should bring your sidearm.
I just say okay.
Right, yeah.
It's like, do you go anywhere without yours, is what my question would be.
Right, but. Sure. Cool, so you have that exchange. So when you land, do you, like, let everybody know that, or do you do the, hey, I'll be back in a minute?
Yeah, I was like, I'll let you guys know when I'm on my way back.
All right.
And whoop, I step out.
So you're going to go off, you strap on your mask, and maybe you found, like, a hood, right? You pull up your hood so the sand's not getting in your face and shit, and you head off. Don't worry, Megan. The buddy system's not currently in effect for this party.
I know. I'm having like flashbacks here, and I'm like, oh god,
suddenly,
oh god.
Yeah, for those who keeping up a siege, basically,
suddenly you're like, then there's these children you see in the street, and I was like, fuck.
They didn't use the buddy system, even though they were told to use the buddy system, and they learned. Yeah. So the three of you, what are your plans?
I believe the three of us are gonna go to Oscar, the shop that Boomer found for Oscar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool, awesome.
If Oscar's services are not needed, that is the primary errand he wants to run.
Okay, awesome.
And while they're on the way, Boomer's going to attempt to convince Go-Go that while they're there, for Go-Go to request Boomer to use the patron's workshop briefly so he can finish out a project.
Maybe they will be Striek. Who knows?
So you're going to try and utilize this back alley exosuit specialist's workshop?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Cool. Hold on one second.